Hi folks, Larry Winget here. Let's rock and roll. Do a little Ask Larry Anything. Gonna be fun today. I've had a couple of good questions come in. When you show up here, give me a little thumbs up. We'll go from there. As soon as we get a crowd together. Won't take long, never does. Beautiful day in Scottsdale, Arizona. Beautiful day, really is. We have reached our high for the day right now. It is only 80 degrees. I have already been out playing golf today and went for breakfast this morning with my wife. Just beautiful day. How do you beat that? So there you go. All right, getting some folks here. All right, a bunch of folks. There's Paul. Paul, you're always first in the room. You asked a good question today, too. There's Crystal and Angie and Matt. Freezing in the UK, Paul. Sorry, it's your choice. Just like this is my choice when I'm complaining about it being 118 degrees. There's Eric and Dave and Angie Douglas. There's James, Ray, Gordon. Good to have you here, bud. Eric. There's Gregory, Matt, Holly. All right, there's Holly. Cool. Rob, Max. Cool. All right, we're going to get started. All right. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Paul. You asked a good question. What's your verdict on the E.H. Taylor single barrel? Overrated. A little too strong. I don't like proofs that high. Never been a fan of the E.H. Taylor. Wouldn't buy it on a bet. Got a bottle here in my bourbon room that's probably going to be full when I die. It's just, I might use it as a mixer or something sometime. Just wouldn't be what I'd go with. Big crowd here. There's Jacob. Katarzyna, jury. Beautiful night. I hope I pronounced your name, didn't butcher it too much. I apologize if I did. There's Imran, Deb, Johnny Nick. All right. A couple of questions here. I got a question this week that just, these kind of questions always just astound me. So we're going to read it to you here. And it ties in with the one Leonard asked me. We'll get to that one in just a few minutes. Kelly says, I have a question. I'm a single mom and have traveled all over west of the Mississippi, putting in apps. Since last February, I still have not got a job. I just put one of my books on Amazon.com, and then in quotes she gives me the name of it. Really, you got to be kidding me. With 4 more to be put on when I get access to a computer. Why are no jobs opening up for me to take care of my family? I hope that there are glaring issues with those of you listening to me right now with Kelly's question to me. First of all, this is the very essence of what you ask about, Leonard, about how do we stop the entitlement mentality. The very tone of this letter takes on the tone that she's entitled. She deserves a job. Somebody needs to give her a job so she can take care of her family. Somebody needs to give her a job because she's a single mom. Let me help all of you single moms, all you college graduates with 4-year degrees out there who say this kind of same stuff. All you older men and women out there that talk about all the experience that you have. People who write and say, I need a job to take care of my family. No employer gives a damn about you. They don't, nor should they, by the way. They don't give a damn about whether you're a single mom or whether you're not able to take care of your family. Employers hire employees so you can help them achieve their business goals. That's it. What do you bring to the table that allows them to achieve their business goals, produce more, serve their customers better, something like that, but they don't exist to take care of you. Sorry, it's the way it is. Accept it. Don't have to like it. Just realize that's the way life and business works. Businesses do not exist to take care of you, nor should they. It is your job to take care of yourself. If we have this entitlement mentality that people should hire us because we need a job, not because we deserve a job, not because we've gone through the things to earn a job, You just need a job. Let me try to read this one here. Somebody's going to have to rewrite their question. I think it was Tony. Things are going through here really, really fast. And so, Tony, rewrite your question, and I'll catch it in just a second. Give me just a second here. Paul says, spot on. Employers look for the value you add to their company. That's exactly what I'm talking about here, Paul. Nobody gives a damn about you, nor should they give a damn about you. What do you do for them? And when you're out there talking to people about hiring you, and by the way, you've been looking since last February, 10 months, you haven't been able to find any kind of job. You know, we just had 200,000 jobs added in the last month. Unemployment rate's the lowest it's been in 17 years. And you can't find a job? Methinks you think you're too good for the jobs that are out there, which is the case for a whole lot of folks. You need a job. You don't need a career. You need a job. You need to do the right thing. And the best way to find a new job is to have a job. Nobody wants to hire an unemployed person. People do, though, like to hire people who have a job and are looking to better themselves because of the skills they bring to that company. And so what skills do you bring to the marketplace? And by the way, let me go ahead and comment a bit more here, Kelly. The title of your book that you've added on Amazon. First of all, what the hell do you think that's going to do for you? Do you know how much money you make from a book on Amazon? Practically nothing. I mean, practically nothing. If you sold 100,000 of them on Amazon, you might have enough to make a car payment this year. That's how it really works. And the title of your book is really, You Got to Be Kidding Me. The title of your book is full of grammatical errors. It's You've Got to Be Kidding Me. Y-O-U''B-E. You've got to be kidding me. Then I looked at your book on Amazon and read the description of your book. It probably has 15 grammatical errors plus spelling errors. Nobody's going to buy a book from an illiterate author. Why would they? There are lots of good books out there that aren't selling that well. You're not going to make any living. I wouldn't bother putting up the next 4 either, as you said you're going to add, because nobody's going to buy it. Don't bother putting a book on Amazon until you already have a huge following. You don't have any following, I'm betting, and you're not going to sell any books. So that was a dumb question, Kelly. Seriously. Get a damn job. Any job. If you show you give a damn about them, they might give a damn about you. Let me tell you why, Andrea, people need to give a damn about me as their employer. I'm paying them. That's why I hired you, was for you to care about me and my customers and what I have been paying you to do. And if I have to pay you to give a damn, you were the wrong hire to begin with. I care about my employees, but I don't care about my employees' problems. I don't care about my employees' emotions. I'm paying for their production. Now, am I one of those asshole bosses that really doesn't care about people? No. But I tell you what, I want my employees to do what they were hired to do, and that's to bring value to me. I am paying for the value that they produce while they're working for me. And if I have to convince them they need to give a damn about their job in order to do their job, oh boy, was I wrong in hiring you. I was certainly wrong, because that's what the money's for, to do your job. I pay you to care about your job. So go to Walmart and buy a lawnmower, knock on some doors, feed your family. Exactly, Douglas. Exactly. You're 100% right, Larry, says Nicole. They say if you're sick, stay home. Yeah, right. You have to go to work or else. They don't care. Nope. Nor should they. They want the job done. They hired you to do the job. That's the way it works. If you don't like it, I mean, you don't have to enjoy the game. You don't have to like the game, but that's the game. You learn to win at the game there is. You don't get to change the game. That's how it is. Paul likes what I'm saying there. Add value, get paid, period. Whoa! See how hard it was, Walt? We get that. I would so like to twist the heads off kids with manageritis and entitlement mentality. You know, Tony, I'm using a program that doesn't allow me to do that very well. I apologize, and I'm using a terrific program, but it doesn't work. Thank you for the book, Shut Up, Stop Whining, and Get a Life. Best regards from Germany. Thank you so much for tuning in here today. I went 15 months without a job in my field, but I worked several jobs. There you go. There you go. There are not a lot of undercover bosses. Nicole, you and I aren't going to agree on this, but that's all right. The value is what they need to show they can bring to the table. Yeah, there you go. That's what the money is for. Do your job. Tammy, you're right. Exactly. Lots of thumbs up on that. And the people who don't like that, you've obviously never owned a company. You've never been the boss. You're not the one paying for the time. And I appreciate that. And I love the employees, and I don't have anything against employees. It's just I'm not responsible for your happiness. I'm not responsible for your family. You are. A living wage, learn to live on the wage you're paid, or go be worth more to earn more. That's simply the way it works. And Leonard, you had a question that you posted about how do we get rid of the entitlement mentality? Okay, I got that question a lot when I wrote my book. You can see it over there in the corner, wherever it is. The screen is backwards, and I don't work well with mirrors, I guess. What's wrong with damn near everything? One of the interviews I did was, and a guy ended up the interview and said, how do we fix things, Larry? We don't! You can't change the world. You people who don't like the way businesses work, you can't change those businesses. That's just the way it is. You're not going to change any of this stuff. You got to learn, like I just said a moment ago, to play the game that is. You got to learn to play the hand that's dealt you. You got to learn to work the system that already exists. You're not going to change any of these things, and we're not going to stop entitlement mentality. The only thing you can do is stop your entitlement mentality. That's how it works. I can't make the government better. I can't make business better. I can't make the price of gasoline go down either. I can't drive down the cost of a gallon of milk. I don't have any impact over what's going on in our school systems. I can't do that, but I do have impact. I do have control over my life. And if every individual controlled their life, then things would get better. Because if I did it, and you did it, and you did it, and you did it, that's how it would be. Jane said, any chance of you coming to Canada? There's always a chance. All it takes is a crowd and money. In fact, all it takes is money. I don't care if there's even a crowd. Give me enough money, and I will be there. This is my job. I do what I get paid. Tom says, volunteer, volunteer. Get back to your community, and employers will notice. Exactly. I just read this great quote somebody posted a while ago, and it's a quote by the Dalai Lama. I'm sure you all have heard it. It says, our prime purpose in life is to help others. Yeah. The prime purpose of your life is not to get help from others. The prime purpose of your life is to help others. Provide a service, volunteer, as Tom just talked about there. Do somebody else some good, but do employers some good. And when you're able to articulate the benefit, the value that you bring to to the employer, that's when you will start to be worth them hiring. Adam says, most entrepreneurs I know, including myself, when you're truthful, your company sometimes offers that you don't lead in the marketing, may not even enjoy too much, but do you want to be successful? Do you want profits? Not everything you can do to be in line with your passion. I forget passion. You know how I feel about passion. Do your damn job. Provide value. That's what we're paid for. That's what the Dalai Lama was talking about. You're in service to others. You help others. The more you help others, the more you are indeed helped in return. When I get up every single morning, how much value can I add to the marketplace, to my clients, to my customers? That's when I am rewarded well. If I stop offering any value and adding value, then I won't be rewarded at all. It's not this hard. Really. But that's the entitlement mentality, and you can't change the entitlement mentality, except maybe with your kids if you catch them early enough, and in your own life. It is every individual, if every individual controlled their life, then things would get better. Exactly, Tammy. That's what I'm talking about there. Tony says, thoughts on gun ownership and the stock market. Stock market's a good place to be right now. Holy crap, it's only going to get better, most people are saying. And you know, I'm on Fox Business, Fox News a lot on panels with folks talking about that, and they're a lot smarter than I am, but everybody says it's going to get better. Thoughts on gun ownership? I'm for it. Got a bunch of them myself. I have a concealed carry permit, and I believe that it is my responsibility to take care of me and to defend myself, because I have a son who's a cop, but he can't get here fast enough. No cop can get where the problem is quick enough, and it's up to me to take care of myself. By the way, responsible gun owners, and they are not the ones who are causing these problems. It's crazy people, and we're always looking for answers. There are no answers, folks. Sometimes the answer is, and I talk about this in my book, What's Wrong with Damn Near Everything. Sometimes the answer is, that guy's crazy. You know, we're trying to look for motive. He's crazy. That's all there is to it. And it's sad, and I hate it. But there you go. One boss, my wife, for more than 20 years. Mihai, is that how you say your name, from Romania? I get that. I certainly do, for sure. Johnny Nick, I talked my way into every job I've ever had by showing what I could bring to the table. God bless you, and that's how it ought to be. That you proved that you had value, and you said it in such a way that the boss hired you for the value that you brought. You kept your job and got raises and promotions because you always exceeded the value that you promised you would bring. That's how it works. We want people to reinvent the system. Work the system. Don't push back against the system. I always tell people, and I get all these questions on Facebook and all these ridiculously stupid comments about bad bosses. Good God, everybody's had a bad boss. Hell, I'm a bad boss right now, and I'm my own boss. We all have bad bosses from time to time. But the point is, you can't always blame the boss. You can't blame the way business works. You've got to go out and work. And that's your responsibility. That's your contribution. That's how it works. Paul Rosser says, your kids are your own fault. Awesome book for anyone with kids. Awesome book for anybody, Paul, because it's about raising responsible adults. It's not about raising little kids. We're raising responsible adults. And that's what the book is about, teaching people to do that. But there you go. Got to wait 20 years for $1. Okay. I don't get that one, Nicole. Michael says, over the years, I've gained much more of a mature perception, a higher level of morale, and greater pride in my work for having listened to you and reading some of your books. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that, Michael. I really do. Listen, folks, this is a short little rant today, even though it's gone on a little longer than I typically do, because I think that we all in some way bring a sense of entitlement mentality to the world. We just do. And so, Leonard, I appreciate your question. How do we stop it? We're not going to. We're not going to change the world. The world doesn't want to change, by the way. What gets rewarded gets done. And we have reward systems in place for every bad behavior, because when we stop rewarding bad behavior stops. I just watched just a moment ago right here. I'm sitting outside and there's a television here next to me. I'm smoking a cigar, doing all that sort of stuff and enjoying my afternoon. And I just watched that Florida State University banned fraternities and sororities on campuses because they had a death and they've had drug dealing going on, so they're done. God bless them. Really, that extreme action. Well, what about the innocents? Yeah, well, what about them? We're just going to ban the fraternities and sororities tough. We're not putting up with your ignorance any longer. That is the kind of action I like to see. I like to see a strong response to this kind of stupidity. Because when there are strong consequences, you can change behavior. Remember, consequences drive behavior. I talk about that all the time. And we need stronger consequences to control the behavior that we see out there. And without any consequences, you're going to have people run amok. And that's where we are right now. We have people doing whatever the hell they want to do because of a lack of consequences. And the consequences of people being unemployed many times is they're unemployable, yet they think they deserve a job simply because they need a job. It's not how it works. That's simply the way it is. Jane says, until people start recognizing the truth, we're never going to get ahead. Absolutely. Larry, what was the process of writing your book like? You've always got so much great info. You could put them all together and call them the Personal Responsibility Encyclopedia. Well, the way to do that is just buy the Larry Library and you get them all. You know, the process of writing a book, I don't have much trouble writing a book. I figure out what in the world is pissing me off. Every book that I've ever written was written about what was pissing me off at the time, whether it be people blaming that horrible housing crisis out there and all those predatory lenders for the fact that they went out and signed a paper voluntarily buying more house than they knew they could afford. That pissed me off. 46% of Americans spend more money than they earn, and then they want to blame the credit card companies. That pisses me off. So I wrote, you broke because you want to be. The same way with kids. That's why I wrote the parenting book. If we fix parenting, we can fix everything. So I look at what's going on in the world and figure out what's really made me mad, and I come up with a great title, and then I kind of break it down into the areas of that I'd like to talk about, and those become the chapters, and I write the stories in there, and I fill out this little outline thing, and then I go back and I write every single day, filling in the blanks, self-editing the whole time until the book ends up completed. I teach a whole thing on that. I hold a class on that, and people come and coach with me about how to write a book, and it can be done. So that's the fast version there, Matt. So there you go. Tammy says, buy Larry's entire library, read it, integrate even a fourth of what you learn in your life, live it every day. When you finish a book, pass it on to someone who's ready to take personal responsibility, rinse and repeat. Bless you, Tammy. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Jane says, so happy I caught you on here today. I'm glad you did too. Hey, folks, we've run 20 minutes. That's a little longer than I normally run. This will also be available on my podcast on SoundCloud and on iTunes. It'll also be on YouTube. Share it with people. Tell them to follow me, and they can all have some fun here like we just did today. I really appreciate the questions and comments that you all have made here today. I do get riled up, and I like to get riled up. Remember that I talk about in What's Wrong with Damn Near Everything. It's not what bothers you that matters. It's what has stopped bothering you that matters. And if you can go through a day without going, nah, everything's just okay. If you can go through a day without getting pissed off about something, you're not paying attention. And it's okay to be pissed off about stuff, folks, because when you get pissed off about it in your own life, that's when you'll be mad enough to change it. Staying positive all the time is ridiculous. That's where the motivational bozos go wrong. We end up living with our head in the sand, and we never notice what's going on, and we become okay with it. When we get fed up with it and a little negative about it, getting negative about your life is when you start to create positive change in your life. I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. And Eric said, salute out to our veterans. Absolutely. Great idea. Salute out to our veterans and our first responders, the cops, police, and ambulance drivers, and all those folks. Thank you so much for listening to me. Bye-bye.